And so, thinking about what life was like back then, having
Sure.
had businesses then, but also having them now, what kind of shifts have taken place? What's really real about the state of commercial real estate today? Are shopping centers dying? There's a lot of concern out there about, oh, maybe I shouldn't do a brick and mortar because people's shopping habits are changing. What's your point of view on this?
Sure. I think, shopping centers are evolving. I think we saw this in '08 and '09, and you see it again in 2020. And what tends to happen is when there's an event like that is, the top 10% are going to be fine. And in some cases, they'll even capture, market share. And when I say top 10%, I mean the top performing retailers and commercial businesses generally, kind of outperform or overperform during those times. They can kind of take advantage of the business that's lost or displaced from other folks going out of business. I think usually what happens is, your bottom 10% or even your bottom 20% can get wiped out in a situation like this. And I don't think that this is unique to the shopping center industry. I think you see it happen with the automotive industry in '08 and '09, and in 2020, you see it in a variety of industries. But looking specifically at retail, what I saw, more recently in 2020 is, there were just a multitude of bankruptcies, on the retail landscape. But you look who it was. I mean, it was folks like Pier One. It was folks like Dress Barn. I mean, these are businesses that haven't had viability for decades. And, they were dinosaurs. And, what happened was the meteor finally came along that just took them out. And I think, from our perspective, that usually is a good thing. We call it a healthy lawn thatching.
Yeah.
Usually you're clearing out all that dry brush. And as an owner, it can be tough and it's exhausting and it's usually capital intensive. And it can disrupt, some leasing or merchandising plans that you may have. But the end result, if you have a good property, is usually you're ultimately able to take that space with a tenant like Pier One, and I guess I can beat up on them because I don't think they're in business anymore. But you can take a space like that and you can plug somebody in there who's going to do a higher sales volume, drive more traffic, and add to the vibrancy of your property. And so ultimately, that's a good thing. I mean, it's that type of healthy destruction that's good in business.
Do you look at some of these and go, I don't know, that's a concept. I'm not sure I could get behind that.